food lovers, Carolina Reaper barbecue sauce. This, my dear friends, is extreme heat. But we don't just want to make a hot barbecue sauce, we also want to make a very flavorful barbecue sauce. So let's have a look at our ingredients. We got a black cardamom, 5 green cardamoms, 5 pieces of dried ginger, half a tablespoon of allspice berries, a teaspoon of celery powder, a teaspoon of nutmeg powder, a large tablespoon of Spanish smoked paprika, a large teaspoon of onion powder, a large teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of coriander powder, 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, half a cup of honey, 3/4 of a cup of concentrated tomato paste, and oh yeah, 15 Carolina Reapers, dried or fresh, half a cup of brown sugar, and half a cup of apple cider vinegar. Let's get started. I'm not going to use a mortar this time to ground my spices. I don't want these chilies to jump in the air. You better avoid getting them on your skin or in your eyes. I also recommend to put on gloves. So we're just going to add our whole spices, black cardamom, green cardamom, ginger root, allspice berries, and our Carolina Reaper chilies. Keep your head a good distance away. Here we go. Now we're going to use a large saucepan, the olive oil. Put your burner on medium heat. Add the tomato paste. And we're going to sear the paste in the olive oil. And that is going to give it some beautiful flavors to our tomato paste. This way of making sauce is very well known in Italian families. And little by little it's going to smell like sun-dried tomatoes in oil. And this really gives a beautiful flavor to your sauce. So as you can see, most of the olive oil is absorbed by the tomato paste and it smells incredibly nice. So now we're going to deglaze with our apple cider vinegar, the balsamic vinegar, half a cup of honey. We're going to add about 1 liter of water. We're going to add the brown sugar, add the ground spices and the chilies, and we're also going to add the rest of our spices. And not to forget our amazing Spanish smoked paprika. Give it all a good stir. We're going to take our sauce to the boiling point and we're going to let it simmer for about 45 minutes. Give it a good stir once in a while and also check out if it doesn't need a little bit more water. After 45 minutes we're going to add about 1.5 cup of cold water to get it a little bit more liquid so we can strain our sauce much easier. Here we go. Just take your time to do this correctly. Now as you can see it's quite liquid now, so we're going to let it simmer on a low heat. This maybe takes another half an hour. It all depends the consistency you want. Just 10 minutes before we finish with cooking, I'm going to add some salt. You can use sea salt, any salt you like. Now we're at a very good point. We're going to kill the heat and we're going to let it cool down to about 70 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes. And now my friends, the dangerous part of the whole video is the taste test, but you need to taste it, but go easy on it. Wow! Oh yeah, that my friends is really hot. Now this is also the moment where you can add some more vinegar or some more sugar. This is really one of the hottest I made, and I think I need some ice cream. And here's a little tip for those who watch the video to the end. We're going to add about 30 to 40 grams of butter in there, and that's going to melt in slowly, and that's going to give us a beautiful glaze on our barbecue sauce. And here you go. I hope you enjoyed the video and it was useful for you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit that bell. It's a great motivation for me. And as this story ends, my dear friends, all that's left to say, bon appetit and see you back soon.